I believe that a lot of content that is put out on social media has to do a lot with image management. So I think it's important to keep that in mind, that what you read on social media may not always be true. It could be maybe enhanced truth, half truth, no truth at all. Very often you'll hear someone say, I made such great returns of this investment that I put my money in, or this is some strategy I came up with and I made a ton of money. And I think what we must remember is that people talk only about their wins. So I think what you see on social media is something that you must look into carefully, and it needs to work for you, and don't take everything that you read as true. I think it's very important to incorporate a curriculum that includes money management in schools. I have no idea why that hasn't been done so far, because everything that you use in your everyday tools in order to create financial plans for clients has to do literally with class 10, class 12 mathematics, whether it's to do with simple interest or compound interest or future value of returns or present value. All of that is something which is basic math. It is taught, but what is missing here is the implementation of what we have learned. I'm saying that money management is a life skill, and it is not important just to teach the theory. It's just as important to teach the implementation of that theory, and for something that is as important as managing and controlling your money, because that's literally the first step to making you realize your life's goals. You want to plan for something, you've got to know how the returns work. The second thing I would say is that I think, and I've noticed this among parents, is that when the parents are involved actively in managing their money well, they almost always get their children involved even before they start earning their first paycheck. So I think the involvement of parents and the involvement of educational institutions and the changing of the curriculum so that it becomes more theory to implementation and execution oriented is something that is absolutely required. Number one, I would say women need the confidence to start managing money on their own. They need to believe that they can do it. It's not a mountain too high to climb. Secondly, I think it requires inclusion. So by that, I mean that when a couple comes to us for advice, for example, I often find that the woman is sort of the silent partner in that conversation. I don't hear much from her. It is a man who's sort of leading and controlling the conversation. And sometimes even if the woman asks questions, it's important for us to make her feel included and make her feel like those questions are just as important. They are valid questions. So I think it is about education, inclusion, and it is about building confidence. So the sooner women realize that controlling money, managing money is not difficult, and that having money is important, because it is the path, it is the way for you to live the life you want to lead. It is for your own self worth and dignity as well. Financial management, money management, or the role of an advisor really is about protecting one's money from oneself. We all know the fundamentals of finance, right? In order to make money, you need to buy low, you need to sell high, and that's how you make money. But how many of us really buy low and sell high? Often our behavior is that we buy high and we sell low. So greed and fear, all of these emotions, and for women there's the third emotion which is guilt. All of these three come into play, and they come into play at the worst times. So I would say that the implementation of behavioral economics is best left to qualified coaches. I think with AI is what it is. It is artificial intelligence. It is intelligence. But when you're dealing with human beings, it is not just intelligence, it is intelligence plus wisdom, which is what human beings and coaches and financial advisors bring to the table. When it comes to women entering the field of finance, or any business for that matter, I would say that there's a lot of stereotypes that get reinforced. You're not good with money management, you're not good, women are generally not good with business, finance, things like that. And I think, when you keep listening to it, the communication is also such that you feel that you begin to self-doubt. You wonder whether you have the ability to be able to create something successful. But so I think it's important for women, MFDs or people starting any sort of business, not just mutual fund distribution, to know that starting a business is a good thing. because it is labor intensive. There's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of hard work. But the good thing is that the hours that you put in are the hours on your own schedule. You decide how much to work. Because I remember when we started in 2005, it was an intense amount of work, but I would come home at 4 o'clock every day because my kids would come home from school at that point of time. I would spend the next 3 hours teaching them for the exam or whatever it is, but then go back to work at 9 p.m. and then work till midnight and then wake up in the morning. But those are my hours. It was my choice. It gave me the flexibility to do what I enjoyed doing, which is my work, also gave me the time to be with my family. And I think for women, that flexibility is very important. And this profession, mutual fund distribution profession, gives you that flexibility. So if you start this business, it's a lot of hard work initially, but the payoffs are absolutely incredible once you're 5, 6, 7 years down the line, because that's when you build your client base, you build relationships, you really enjoy the work. I wouldn't give this up for anything.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.